sperm stain. Ooh, bitch, you know I ain't playing. Yeah, I like water with sugar cane. Ooh, nuclear bomb, I don't feel pain. Yeah, I can't fly cause I'm not a plane. Ooh, I like crumbs and candy stains. Yeah, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang. Under the bridge is worm stain. Ooh, bitch, you know I ain't playing. Yeah, I like water with sugar cane. Ooh, nuclear bomb, I don't feel pain. Yeah, I can't fly cause I'm not a plane. Ooh, like to eat crumbs and candy stains. Yeah, roach gang, 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 roach gang. Climbing through your air vent. Ooh, I could smell that sugar scent. Yeah, still the best of the insects. Me and my fam like to lay eggs. None of this food be new to me. Nope. Eat it up, even if it's ruining. Yeah. Bitch, raid and add on my family. Fuck raid and Abion's company. Roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang.
Simple. You know like vibes. Right. GG's gang. If you ask me, your body big too. I'll start watch Transformers last night. Don't even get me watch shit.
Din Optimum Prime really full of fuck. Damn.
One dark and cool like high party. Alright, let's run through this real quick, gang. But that kinda nasty, wrong artist, life I party. Alright, let us go from here down. Let's go back to the week, even the monthly, real quick. Run it down. Alright, so let me mute this real quick. If you haven't been with us early in the week, we're always looking at this monthly wick consequent encroachment, and that is about 29,503. Take a picture of that. Monthly wick. Go down to the weekly. See, we're still ranging in the lower half of this range. On the weekly, to me, we're basically inside this body, this green bar body, right? Right here. As long as we stay in between this green bar body, which is what, 29,577 to 30,035, kind of just going to be inside ranging. So looking to see if we could take out that top, maybe fake out, come back down, or we take out the top, hold it, and bounce. What's this area? 30,047. All right. Did I take a picture of this already? Nope. So right here on my iPad, I'm taking a picture of everything we're talking about, and then I'm gonna just upload it to MidGPT and keep it rolling. Daily. See, we're still in the lower half of this range. Got this high here we could take out, come back to this low, or the low. Again, monthly wick, consequent encroachment, very important. Unless we get a blast up and we go take it out and get a bar, like maybe, you know, one of these bars from the 11th. That's pretty big. That could be from 28,700 to 29,700. So yeah, you know, 1,000 points. We could get one of those, fill this back up, but let's see. 4 hour. That's what our 4 hour look like. We're still inside this bearish fair value gap on the 4 hour. All right. Let's see if we fill this back out, come down to the EMA 29789, or what happens. What? Are you sending something? Oh, wait. My joke. Let's take a picture of that one. Yep. All right, this is the 1 hour. You can see we're right above the, I think this is Friday, 10 a.m. bar. We're also above all the previous 10 a.m. bars. So right now, any magnet I have is kind of below, unless I go back here and try to find a 10 a.m. from here. Next significant 10 a.m. would be from Wednesday. Mark this area out here. And there's also one here. This is large. Let's put these on and then just go to the right. Yeah, we're kind of inside these areas too, so I'm gonna take this big one away. Oh no, I want the big one. It's too much area, like we're in the whole area. So maybe we got this little spot up here, 30,196. Let me write this down. Let's see, we're gonna get our sugar soon. That's the 1 hour. And then let's go to the 15-minute. Tonight we're raving, cause we made it. Nothing can change it. You can't see we no party since lately. Alright, so for the 15 minutes so far, for the overall day, I got XAMD. Right now we're in manipulation quarter, so should see some highs or lows getting ravaged and then returning back. Or maybe, we just kind of chill out in the middle till it's time to expand. Small quarters, I got XAM right now. So for in this quarter, let's see. No, for the small quarters, my bad. I got, let me try to copy this. AMDX. So we're in distribution in a manipulation quarter.
57 minutes till next news.
Cool. And then after 12, we should get some distribution. Right now, we got some SMT with ES taking out highs, NQ not. The 1 hour. It's at 57 minutes, right? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's at 57 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's go back to our 1 minute. So again, these are just the quick things you gotta do. Do your investigation. I've already done this earlier today, just doing it again. Everything changes, right? It's my 1 minute. You see midnight open here, 30,000 and like about 12. Haven't created the sugarcane fair value gap yet. Mark this line at 931. Mark it for the hunt starting. Any fair value gap after this is our sugar. Simple. Then we got our first window we look at, 9:50 New York time. To 10:50. I mean 10:10. And then the next one is 10:50 to 11:10. Basically, these are the main two windows we focus on. It's not that we don't trade anything else in between, but not necessarily, you know. And last but not least, the tick chart. And on my tick chart, I see a range. We kind of went up, made new extreme, came down, made new extreme. Now we just chop it. And now I just update everything to GPT. This is gonna be it every day. Meet new voice. More natural conversations powered by our next generation voice model. Men är ready för det. Latin voice right now, way tough. And then ready for new voice. So that's this. GG's me G. Here ready for mission number 0014 live. Sending you all the pictures and about to give you the updates. On the daily, we're still in the middle of the range. In the middle of the actual daily range to me is 29,804. Up gas station on the daily would be 30,081. Down gas station would be 29,229. EMA for the daily is flat and kind of cruising through all the bars at 29,823. Nearest fair value gap, low and high on the daily right now is 30,149 and 30,339 is the high. That was a bearish one, I think, as well. For the 4 hour, we're in a bearish gap right now. The high of that is 30,023. The low is 29,806. Gas station for the low side on the 4 hours, 29,746. Gas station for the high side on the 4 hours, 30,056. And there's another one close by at 30,092. For the 1 hour, we're inside Friday's 10 a.m. previous bar. Upside gas station is 29,954. Downside gas station is 29,747. And that previous Friday 10 a.m. bar, the high of it is 29,928 and low is 29,822 for the 1 hour. For the 15-minute big quarters overall, for the six hour quarters, we got XAMD. For the 90-minute quarters, currently I got AMDX. So for the 15-minute, we're inside a larger manipulation quarter, but right now we're inside the distribution quarter, to be specific. There is SMT right now, ES taking out highs, NQ not taking out highs, so we're not mutual. Downside gas station is 29,748. Upside gas station is 30,062. The 1 minute, we're below the midnight open. We are just creating the sugar now. I'll give you that level as we speak for 29,910 for the high, and the low is 29,885. So we're below a lot of things, mainly the discounts for today. We're only basically above one discount for today. So should kind of show pull us upwards, but again, we stay objective, right? As far as the 2K, I got a couple break near extremes for the upside, then a break near extreme for the downside. Then we keep doing kind of the attempt break near extreme, and now we're just rolling over kind of into a range. Um, let's see, and we're inside the new week opening gap. We stayed mostly far away from the EMA most of the night. Then, as the session kind of started going into 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we started interacting with the EMA. Since we're inside the new week opening gap, I got the high of that is 30,066. The low of that is 29,950. Again, key levels, I would say monthly consequent encroachment of the wick, 29,503. Currently, right now, we are above it. Weekly inside body, 30,029 to 29,568. Prior day high is 30,041. Prior day low is 29,304. And midnight open is 30,012. What has to happen for us to participate today? I would kind of like to see, we already took out the prior day high. So either we come back up and get a rejection off the EMA somewhere close to the prior day high, and then we get to set up there, or we see if we basically float around, go take out the today's low, and then we get a rejection off today's low. The only other place I would maybe participate in, since we're already seeing the sweep of the high, is maybe we come back and test close to yesterday's high. If we come up there and take that out again, otherwise I would just basically wait to see what happened in those areas. Want to also see NQ or ES and really try to see, give us the main direction as well. We'll update you on anything else soon. Let's go. Nice, quick, full updates. Ready to send this picture of the range.
Is it still there? I beat Jackson 5 in a dog.
What?
The phone from yesterday in a dog. Beat a Jackson 5 in a mirage.
That's what you been listening to.
Bruh.
J5.
Bruh.
Oh, yeah, I need to post the stream in a second. Alright, let's see what we gotta say.
Mission number 0114, live. I'm locked in. And yes, based on the screenshots plus your verbal read, I think today's picture is actually pretty clear conceptually, even though price itself is not clear directionally yet. The biggest thing I want us to protect today is this, open quote, do not turn below a lot of levels into I must be bearish. Close quote. We said we're killing that habit. HTF gives context. Location gives opportunity. Price gives permission. My read of your pre-market map? The daily is neutral mid-range to me. You gave me daily midpoint around 29,804, with the daily EMA around 29,823, and flat. That's important. We're not looking at some beautifully separated trending daily EMA with price delivering aggressively away from it. We're basically operating around the middle of a larger auction. Daily gas stations up 30,081 down 29,229. And that larger bearish daily FBG is still sitting above around 30,000 and 30,339. So my daily note is simply no strong daily directional permission. Not bearish, not bullish. Observe delivery. 4H is more interesting. This is where my attention starts sharpening. You have price inside the 4H bearish FBG, 29,806, 30,023. And look where price is currently hanging, right inside that area. Then 4H downside gas station, 29,746. 4H upside gas station, 30,056/30,092. That creates a very clean question for me. Open quote, can price accept above this 4H bearish gap, or does the gap continue to cap delivery? Close quote. I don't want us predicting the answer. I want the 2K to tell us. 1H, Friday 10 a.m. bar is our container. This is a good catch. Friday's previous 10 a.m. bar, high 29,928, low 29,822. And you said we're currently operating inside it. Brother, 29,822 is damn near your daily EMA at 29,823. That is confluence I want written down, not a trade signal in area. So if we rotate down there, Friday 10 a.m. low plus daily EMA vicinity, then I immediately want to see what the 2K says. Likewise, we're already interacting with the 29,928 upper boundary area. Again, area location, evidence. Current sugar, 29,885, 29,910. We're below midnight open at 30,012.
You know
the 1
that
minute screenshot
stacking
also
paper,
shows price
stacking
interacting.
Nice one. I saw you second trip.
Yeah,
Skip, I just make last
that
time.
dense
Trip,
cluster around the 29,930
this.
to 29,945 area before the current delivery lower. I agree with your observation. There are a lot of levels overhead, but remember our new framework. Overhead levels can mean resistance, or they can mean upside magnets if price starts reclaiming them. That's why we don't marry bearishness. Sugar question. Does sugar continue rejecting price? Or does price invert reclaim sugar and begin using it as support? Don't anticipate. Watch the reaction. SMT, very important today. You caught. ES took highs. NQ did not. Non-mutual delivery. I'm writing that mentally as, open quote, SMT present. Wait for resolution. Close quote. I don't want the SMT itself triggering the trade. I want to know, does NQ catch up? Or does ES's high sweep become the warning before both rotate lower? This is exactly why I like you having ES beside NQ. Let them argue. We watch orders red. You have 6/8 AMD 90M, AMDX, and we're currently in the larger manipulation quarter, while the smaller structure is in distribution. Good. But I want us careful here. We do not say, open quote, distribution means down, close quote. Our question is, open quote, what is being distributed and where does price deliver next? Close quote. If the 90M framework is completing AMDX, I especially want to watch the transition around the next quarter boundary. Quarter change plus HTF area plus 2K evidence. That's a much stronger story than just a quarter label. Next, today's participation plan. I agree with your criteria. I would clean it into this. Short idea. Price rotates, reclaims upward into EMA PDH vicinity, overhead HTF area, fails to accept, then the 2K gives bearish structure and a valid 2LPB sugarcane reaction. Long idea. Price attacks today's low or a meaningful downside gas station, collects gas, then reclaims with 2K structure above the EMA and valid evidence. Alternate idea. A second meaningful interaction around PDH creates a clean sweep, rejection, or reclaim. Again, the area alone is not enough. And here's the part I want burned into the screen today. Open quote. The sweep gets our attention. The reaction creates the story. The 2K gives permission, close quote. Mental attitude for mission number 00114. My G, yesterday we literally watched ranges develop and learn direction isn't enough. Find the area. Today, I don't want us trying to prove we learned it by taking a trade. I want us to prove we learned it by refusing every trade that does not fit it. You've already done the work. HTFs checked, news checked, levels marked, Endo-G mapped, sugar forming, EMA observed, SMT identified, quarters mapped, trade criteria spoken before entry. So now, stop working so hard. Price has the assignment now. Open quote, me no hafi catch die move hafi qualify fi me capital. Close quote, send the next update when we get a meaningful interaction, especially sugar. PDH creates a clean sweep, rejection, or reclaim. Again, the area alone is not enough. And here's the part I want burned into the screen today. Open quote, the sweep gets our attention. The reaction creates the story. The 2K gives permission, close quote. Mental attitude for mission number 00114. My G, yesterday we literally watched ranges develop and learn direction isn't enough. Find the area. Today, I don't want us trying to prove we learned it by taking a trade. I want us to prove we learned it by refusing every trade that does not fit it. You've already done the work. HTFs checked, news checked, levels marked, Endo-G mapped, sugar forming, EMA observed, SMT identified, quarters mapped, trade criteria spoken before entry. So now, stop working so hard. Price has the assignment now. Open quote, Mina Hafi catch die move Hafi qualify find me capital. Close quote, I'm here with you live. Send the next update when we get a meaningful interaction, especially sugar. 29,885 to 29,910. The Friday 10 a.m. container, 29,746, 29,790 downside area, PDH, EMA interaction, or SMT resolution. Double I don't die, why multiply?
She's hilarious. If you ask me. Where'd that come from? Mr. Sandman, give me a dream. Documenting every day. Just getting into a habit.
Huh? You stick my get enough markup.
Last picture is the 30-minute and 10K. Everything else you can clearly see. 2K, 1 minute, 1 hour, 15-minute, ES and S&P. NQ and S&P. So yeah, we keep it sturdy. Just watching now.
Look. Yeah, tell me what you.
Back up from what? I said that no man just answer that.
Alright.
Oh, you feel broke up, Sabas.
You alright already? Twins?
Hmm?
Alright already?
Yeah, good to know.
Mission number 014, live update log. Yeah, steady is exactly the word right now. Looking across the 2K, 1M, 1H, NQES 15M comparison, and your 30M plus Alien 10K, I do not see a reason for us to manufacture an entry. What changed since pre-market? The bearish idea got more evidence, but I still wouldn't say short now. On the 2K, that blue range you drew makes sense to me. Price spent time balancing inside it, then we got the lower side delivery and a much cleaner move away. The EMA is rolling over with price underneath it on the right side of the chart. More importantly, look at the sequence. Upper purple area, rejection, balance range, loss of range, low, downside delivery. That's a much better story than simply saying we were below midnight open, so bearish. The market actually gave evidence, but now the move has already expanded. So I don't want us chasing the evidence after the evidence already paid. The 1 minute is the biggest warning against chasing the evidence. That 1M delivery is pretty aggressive. From the upper area, you have multiple strong bearish candles delivering through levels, and price is already around 29,764-ish in your screenshot. Remember what you mapped pre-session. 4H downside gas station, 29,746. 1H downside gas station, 29,747. Brother, price is basically arriving at the 29,746, 29,747 HTF gas station cluster you identified before the move happened. That's huge for the journal. Not because we should have shorted, because your pre-market mapping correctly identified where price could potentially seek liquidity gas. Now the question changes. Before, open quote, will price deliver lower? Close quote. Now, open quote. What does price do after arriving at the map downside gas station? Close quote. Completely different question. SMT update. From the NQ-ES comparison, the divergence you mentioned earlier deserves attention because NQ has clearly shown weaker downside delivery relative to the earlier highs discussion. But again, I'm with you. Observe. I want to see whether ES now joins the downside delivery aggressively, or whether NQ begins reacting from the HTF gas station while ES maintains relative strength. No assumption. Watch mutuality. 30 minutes alien 10K. First, the alien chart is still hard as hell. And I actually like the separation you're creating. 30M equals slower structural context. 10K equals larger execution flow observation. 2K detailed execution evidence. That's beginning to look less like a bunch of charts and more like an actual information hierarchy. On the 30M, the current bearish expansion is obvious, but again, we're now extended from the upper structure and moving into an area you already mapped. So I would not reward ourselves for correctly reading bearish evidence by taking a late short. That's one of the exact traps we're trying to remove. Current Roach desk call, no trade. Watch. The area I'm circling mentally is now 29,046 to 29,747 gas station cluster. I want to see one of two stories develop. Story A, price reacts from gas, reclaims structure, starts working toward the EMA, and gives a legitimate 2K long framework. Story B, price barely reacts, cannot reclaim, EMA continues pressing downward, and we get a pullback into a meaningful area followed by fresh bearish evidence. What I do not want. Story C, damn it dropped, sell. That Roach has been evicted from the compound. And my G, one journal note already stands out today. Open quote, pre-market level mapping worked. Price delivered into the 29,746, 29,747 HTF gas station cluster. The job now is not to chase the move, it is to study the reaction at the area. Close quote, area locations execution, I'm watching with you. Why don't die? Why multiply?
Are you able to pronounce W-I, we, not Y? Can you do that? It's a little Jamaican patois. If not, it's fine.
Yes, my G. I understand now. You mean Jamaican we equals we, pronounced more like we, not the letter Y and not Y. So when I say it, the intention is we don't die, we multiply. But when I write it for Roach Gang, I'll keep the patois spelling die while multiply. Locked in. From now on equals we.
What? I'm serious. All right. Window going on, but ain't nothing else going on.
You never hear for the first time. Yes, I wanna get real lad. No, no. Later. That's just because I one night. What
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Bye. You don't get it with another dude. Check.
Hey, yo, Haitian.
Come
Tell
on,
these
they
people
get it,
you
man.
Haitian, bro. Tell these people you Jamaican and Haitian. Hey, yo, Haitian. Tell these people you Haitian, bro. Tell these people you Jamaican and Haitian, fam. Tell these people, bro.
If you have some gun, but them sure can say you end up over there, so. But you know, remember when you name. Every light like the name you want, no, I can't know. An earthquake pass through. But I'm doing more than 7 people over there. Oh man, I move different. Like she. Oh.
Every shot racket ain't my stick, yeah. Every hour I can will stop you. Send you that. I been getting caught on the side, you just live. Now to a boss, price surprise, keep it up. I still got your blood on my two fingers, I'm killing them. Remember when the day they up us on watch out. I don't step right that stuff. BBL man, I come my shot his ass up. What the fuck to you, look you on, bro? Motherfucker, get your motherfucking motherfucker. Double cup lady, for the one she crazy, she wanna have babies. What the fuck? They put down with a pop and go to get fucked. Bigger than little people. Looking at evil. Bloody kitty cow. Body bag that he pop and two attack and hang out touch. Me put a switch on this. If felt men 60s can't him go take a witch lightning. Blitz swing can't hit no see a wolf is like me. Suck me lick the guy chip and no see him no right. Be a bomb fling like shoulder the Taurus got it flowing like soda. Chop me lip in the guy. Me such a dog that the 40 we kill from kick the powder. Yeah, I'm looking at proper. This tongue shall fuck up our total. Explosion, keep me head sick if you're gonna know God. Yes, it's evil. So like spot and it's evil. Cause you bounce like sprinkle. Head bigger than little people. Looking at evil. Cut the trees people. Some money cocky. Perfect body. Real money and sexy than a Maserati. Licky cocky. Yeah. Turn around, make me slap up your body. Give me pussy, give me pussy. Ain't afraid, girl, give me jokey. Give me brains, you're not stupid. Girl, she apply Coca-Cola, but you're not broken. Let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some color, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some. Yeah, bomb pussy. You know, carry up your mother pussy. Make like a ball, it's like a magic when she do the pussy. Little like a scrimmage, not the crevice, give me putty. Yeah, give me pussy, pussy. You know, one pussy, must be stupid. Pretty like a arrow, yeah, me and the pussy cupid. Pussy never wide in a row when me put my foot in. Yeah, pussy, come on, little like that. Come on, me put your hand on my tongue. Pussy never shut up, you know, poke out like a mattress. Yeah, your pussy little like you up on the pickers. You know, matter. If I feel like a black pretty, you know, feel like pussy. But every thing you do, you deal with it proper. Pussy. Yeah, I'm a make you some. If you not give me no pussy, maybe give you bum. Pussy, so let me give you some. Bring your pussy, come on, let me give you some. Let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some, yeah. Let me give you some, come on, let me give you some. Pretty and she slappy, little pretty dolly. Never shall be real, like girl, she ever polish. She not speak Spanish. Me know she daddy, but she call me papi. What a face, what a waist, what a body, yeah. What a pussy tight, never slacky. What a weight, yeah. When me knock it, oh, we need little breast, what a pocket. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is that? See them funny cocky, perfect body. Biggest man, girl, is sexy than a Maserati. Licky cocky, turn around, make me slap up your body. Give me pussy, give me pussy. Me not afraid, girl, give me. Turn up, Yeah, sure. Me take on my third cup. Big ball game and the World Cup. Make sure we turn up. Say she love it because me no Mali. Pressure cooker pussy, pressure he no charge. As a Haitian and as a yardie. Go lift up me out to breathe new heat. No retreat when the heart's not high. Hey, we at that we move. We survive. You just know my name. No shortcuts at the walk through flames. From the dark we carved our way. Yeah. Hey. From Chile to birds, no touchy bends. Exodus when the breeze press. Tell Kimani after the sea flex. Diamond bomb lit up on the sea chest. Turn up the league, turn up the heat. Hotter than what the thermometer read. Natural mystic, a bigger breeze. So Mali landing in Miami. Tech plane after it's so tiring. Just the girl around me a farm in a ring. Yeah, girl have to balance, girl have to screen. Dance all hero, the funny magazine. Rockstar, jump back, rock yard. Dance all, can't style, Gen Z, Bob Marley. Miss I'm sure to share. Turn up the music. Jump up, yeah. Turn up the night, yeah. Come and pay vibe. Couple wicked night, yeah. You catch your style. Ice dripping islands. You catch your eye. Now listen what the boy say. Half every time. Say she love you, we coming on Mali. Is a hit, I me no missing, no me chargy. As a Haitian and as a yardie. Sugar is bubble to Mali. Rockstar, jump back, rock yard, dance all, can't style, Gen Z, Bob Marley. A big man ball game. Big man ball game, me tell Billiard. Big man ball game, me tell Billiard. You're one of a kind. For the miss, yes, son. I see your eyes. You're one of a kind.
Hold on. You didn't add these to the album already? These. Them four. So these are all new.
Yeah, man.
1, 2, 3.
You can't look at that.
Not this one.
Sure.
Not the third one.
The one with full. No, take that out.
And this 8-minute one too.
That's the big one.
Alright. Move them into this. So bro, they're not gonna be on the iPad.
Yeah.
But I just moved it to my this little USB I have. Yeah, so see, look, come. See, I go here, copy from phone. Right now, don't know. You don't have phone in there. I just come here, select, continue this. You have your own thing right here. YouTube library. One on one. That should just trip me up, I guess. What you're supposed to be in here. Where the fuck is the rest? Hold on, man. Something going on here. Because I thought I just uploaded the rest too. Hold on, then hold on. window end. Look, so all these videos, these right here, these you didn't even upload yet, huh? I gotta cover them. I don't know how they added them, man. Good thing I checked. Gotta be. So this, yes, I didn't get to that. So you said none of the 4-minute video then. 49 seconds. Let's see, one for, let's see, no more. Let's see, one for 1 minute, 33 seconds. 42 seconds. Seconds.
No one of them between 1 minute 55 seconds, 49 or 30.
Let's see after this. Alright, we back at the sugar. We above the EMA. First entry. Short pullback. Second entry short. Didn't take out the low today. Went close. Still in distribution.
Not you with this damn.
What are you saying? This is one. This is another one. This one. This is another one.
That's the first one.
This is one too.
Yeah, we have to cut that one a little bit after that.
At the beginning? I think this kind of looks.
Oh yeah?
Why not?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they're clicking in the video.
Right. How would you even not do it, sir?
No.
Yeah, if I know we can just sub him out. Come on. What the boy? That show was a long time.
This is 1 minute 33 seconds. You listen to it? This one's 1 minute 33 seconds.
I really watched it. I tell you, where they are catching another one day.
So far we got 1, 2. Hello? Hey. Yeah. Hold on a second. You got a new number or something? Huh? I don't know. Maybe my phone is bugging because I think that it's not, everything is not saved. But it's like your number popped up. Yeah. But what's it called? I'm gonna get on the road. real till me old and grey. And if you fuck up any contract, West Hanover.
Under radar,
Mm-mm.
no sir. It's on your very crucial, no sir. Yeah, yeah.
West Hanover. What the fuck you are reaching out here? Like, look, you don't know what they're boss.
Brother, right now, me just.
Better go get one of the judge police.
I did that, son. Brother, right now, me just.
Argentina piss me off with the kind of all over the time, like. No foul for Salah. From day one.
No fault for Salah. You mean Messi?
Man.
I see Messi tip on a
Say me
brother.
not even can't chat, dog. Can't mess you up. Over this shit.
Better not cool up with yourself. The man is not foolishness, but the things that them definitely do round pertaining the brother is definitely foolishness.
Right.
When I see my boy get yellow card yesterday,
Who that?
we tip on the man foot.
Messi?
No, wait name.
The defender you man. France.
Oh, I'm like, bro.
And then we see Lamine get a penalty for your man accidentally kick
Looking
off
at
five.
the
Suck at yourself,
Bro,
brother.
the
As a
better
matter of
stop.
fact, we have a bottle of water. I seem to can't find my shot, but I know so we don't have one somewhere half an hour in the kitchen or somewhere. Take this, take this straw, put it in there. Or you know what? Get the straw suck in the water.
And if you fuck up any contract, West Hanover. What the fuck you want Richard off here?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Bellingham, all we need is one campaign. Make Messi run up past me.
Bro. Them books with the food, let's see if you man with
Listen to this. So come back, me need to get.
Mind give them more play when I play. Call up on the ends, no, when I stay. Real to my old and grey. And if you fuck up, say they can't chop West and over. What the fuck you want, rich and I feel. Life with my heart full of hate. Large jack food, France gate, put rims, bomb skate. Tell me push it on blue plate. One campaign, run up and plane. One campaign, pop champagne. Fuck with the food, be ready for bomb brain. Percy chica tell me hands brain.
Yeah.
One campaign, run up and plane. One campaign, pop champagne. Fuck with the food, be ready for bomb brain. Percy chica tell me hands brain. Bring it death. Mind give me one way, I can't pay. Touchy melody, I someone who make a skate. Life take away, I so don't be make a stay. Don't need to bring a new face, you know, we go for the place.
Spider-Man.
Crack a face, nice ball, real essential. Catch a case, like never catch a case. Text them a look for days. Let the scene clean, just me dirty ways. One campaign, run up and plane. One campaign, pop champagne. Fuck with the food, me ready for bomb brain. Percy chica tell me hands brain. One campaign, run up and plane. One campaign, pop champagne. Fuck with the food, me ready for bomb brain. Percy chica tell me hands brain. Death. Mind give them one play, man, I play.
Brother, you know what, you fuck up, yo. Fuck up, man, you have it in the head of that. How kind of thing that, yo? The fuck? It's so fucking video the way it said, you don't know what that. That's the better day. That's the better day. Just more banking. Okay. Okay, they are Jamaica guys. Money came to Dublin. I'm actually saying with this step now. Different country. But the game like got to support Argentina police.
makes that worse. Who you see? It's me. It's me. It's me. Who you see? When that light bitch hit, I'm fighting with you. It's me. Who you see? When you peeping through the peephole, me and my niggas young, wild and feeble. Walking through the streets, I be feeling like we the Beatles. All of us young, black and strapped like Don Cheeto. Cause he's been wrong, even though he is grown, he don't belong. Probably why he's alone, but he's so dope. And he been there all along, so bring the smoke. Nigga feel like Cheech and Chong, don't heal these niggas. Man, you better heal yourself, don't wait for them. Dog, you better move yourself, go find new friends. You can start to fool yourself, try and win them over. Fuck around and lose yourself. Who do you see? When you finally pick your head up, I know that you fed up, ain't nothing to be scared of. Who do you see? Every time your back turns, baby, I know that hurt makes it that worse. Who do you see? It's me. It's me. It's me. Who do you see? When that lightning bitch hit, I'm fighting with you. It's me. Baby girl, you say too much, and I don't say enough. I see you late night and dip out when you're waking up, but who do you see? When in the name of love, I'm who you see, baby. I know who you're dreaming of. Who do you see? And what you want it to be. Cause every time you close your eyes, you know you're looking for me. Who do you see? And who's still on your knees? Cause I'm the one that fixed your puzzle when you're looking for peace. Who do you see? When you finally pick your head up, I know that you're fed up. Ain't nothing to be scared of. Who do you see? Every time your back turns, baby, I know that hurt makes it that worse. Who do you see? It's me. It's me. It's me. Who do you see? When that lightning hits you, I'm fighting with you. It's me. Who do you see? You know, it's not always right person, wrong time. Sometimes it actually is the wrong person, and nothing is to be blamed on the time. In fact, that time was a blessing in disguise. At the time, I was aware enough to know what wasn't mine, aware enough to save us both from my games. You know, the one where I entertain you just long enough to get my way. I let you stroke my ego, and you tell me I'm so special. But deep down, I know I'm here for a good time. You want me around for a long time, but if it came down to you or my dream, it's no question what I'm choosing. And you just don't get that. You looking for a partner. You looking for a dream. I'm looking for me. Tell me, who do you see? Tell me, who do you see? Tell me, who do you see? Tell me, who do you see?
I see price moving a good amount. I still did not quite see a decent entry, especially in the window. After the window, we kind of made a move and then rolled over. We're still going down. We definitely are taking out current session low, Asia low, London low, every low. Look like we are heading back to the midpoint of yesterday. Also, will send you a picture of the 2K as well with the midpoint of the price today before market open. Forgot to do that. Otherwise, don't see much else. Just keeping it chill. Yeah, we had movement, but I still saw no entry. No.
Designer connection, pull me wardrobe, me got diamond test, my jewelry, of course, me got jump like Benz, I'm cruising high, cool. So we do it,
Got money and do it all night.
bad Louis, do the bitch when I do it now.
Last picture is updated 2K tick chart.
Chop food and go party all night. When me chop chew, we have me pass side. Back booze, I'm gone in that sky. One fast, some kind of bastard. Go to last, you gone in that car. Buttons press on your wick, start it and
you sent, and I agree with your read. The key distinction today is open quote, price move. That does not mean your entry appeared. Close quote. On the updated 2K, the move is obvious after the fact. But during the window, price was still doing exactly what you were describing earlier. Overlapping, rotating, and developing inside around that blue area. Your own drawings from before the drop actually tell the story pretty well. Then, price starts accepting lower, works below the range, and the sell-off becomes much cleaner. By that stage, though, the danger is seeing the expansion and emotionally converting it into, I missed my trade. I don't think that's the right journal conclusion. What I'm seeing from your charts, NQ rejected the higher premium area and failed to sustain the earlier push. The blue 2K range became the main battleground. Price eventually migrated out of that area to the downside. The EMA 2LPB structure became more bearish as the move matured. Current session low, Asia low, and London low became sell-side objectives and were attack taken through the sequence you showed. Your higher time frame view already had lower references in play, including that prior day midpoint idea you're watching. ES also looks supportive of the broader risk-off move rather than giving you a strong divergence reason to fight NQ's downside. But here's the Roach Gang lesson I want written down. Had direction was visible. Entry was not. That's different from yesterday. Yesterday we talked about right idea, early entry. Today looks more like, open quote, right observation. No execution evidence during the window. Close quote. And I actually like that distinction for mission number 019 because it shows the journal is getting more precise. We aren't just labeling every missed move as a mistake. Your process is area, location, evidence, execution. Price eventually gave movement. Movement is not automatically evidence for your model at your location within your window. The other thing I notice on that last 2K picture, once it is clearly breaking and extending lower, chasing becomes increasingly unattractive. The chart looks beautiful when photographed afterward, but in real time, you'd potentially be selling after several lower rotations with nearby downside references already being approached. So nah, I wouldn't rewrite today's session as I should have shorted. I'd write, open quote, the market expanded lower after the range. I correctly identified the bearish development and sell-side objectives, but my execution model did not present cleanly enough during my trading window. I did not chase movement after confirmation became obvious. Close quote. That's discipline. And me say we're properly. Now Buffer don't die, buy multiply. For the chart journal, I'd mark the exact candle 2LPB sequence where you first felt the short became obvious. Not because we should have taken it, because I want us to compare that point against your rules and find out whether there was genuinely a missed model or whether hindsight just made the move look cleaner.
Let's see. On the 2K tick chart, I see we had a downtrend. We had a break. We didn't quite get new extreme. We got overshoot. Yeah. Well, it doesn't even seem like we got new extreme for the uptrend that went back into the range. Almost tested the midpoint of the day, which is 29902 to basically 29903. And then I would say the first time I saw the short was I could start looking for a short was there, but I didn't get new extreme for my uptrend. Could say we got rejection off the lower edge of the range, maybe, but again, I'm looking for that. Maybe if we adjust the range up here, it doesn't quite work because we had a failed breakout. So I would still say the low of the range was 29857. But the major part I see where we could be interested was 10:19 a.m. on the tick chart. We did not touch the EMA, we came close. Entry would have been 29813. Stop loss maybe, wait, hold on. Entry is 29813. Stop loss would have to go above 29830. And then we could have maybe aimed for yesterday's midpoint at 29609. But again, entry was not perfect. I do see a bullish fair value gap to the left between 29818 and 29833, which then basically got inverted, and then we did make a bearish gap over that at to the right of that bullish gap, now overlapping it at 29837 and 29826. Basically a double gap right here. We'll send you a picture as well and an arrow of the area I'm talking about.
Doing it.
Doing all right.
Is one seat in I carry a lot though?
Huh?
Is this I carry the one seat tonight? There's one seat in and big like a
No, sir, McLaren that. No, old school McLaren. This one I name Apollo Intensa.
Yeah, bro, I suppose so one seat in like, no? One seat, one cockpit,
Hold on.
just for the driver. Come see camera there.
Also, you have to.
To the left?
Yeah,
That should look like it's in the middle.
No, sir.
Like the thing.
The thing? Yeah, sure, yeah, McLaren.
Come on, go back inside that car.
One for the moment
Go
that you
inside.
fry your man. Yeah, the pussy less you are the best of my friend.
Oh, shit.
Can't get enough of you.
That should look crazy. It's like the
The
passenger is like not even a thought about. The passenger seat so small compared to the driver of the whole space. The camera the top, so the camera there the rear view.
Yeah, you can have them on the right.
Yeah, that shit is fucking cool.
If you are free, then me show me. I expose your car in a broski. Body and pussy fat, girl, I am your love see. Man, I'll treat you, I'm a granny grow me. Buy anything you want.
Yeah. Now Y actually have a specific sequence to audit, and I see the exact area you're describing on the 2K. I think your read is mostly right, but there's one important distinction I want to make. The 1019 area is the first interesting short location, not automatically a valid entry. Your sequence, as I understand your model, is downtrend, break, attempted uptrend, failure to print the required new extreme, rejection rollover, bearish evidence. The attempted uptrend from the lows is where the problem begins. Price climbs back toward the lower portion of the earlier range and gets close to that 29,902, 29,903 day midpoint area. But the bullish sequence doesn't give you the clean new extreme you wanted. So at that stage, I'm not saying open quote, short, close quote. I'm saying open quote. The bullish option is failing to prove itself. Start hunting bearish evidence. Close quote. That's a meaningful difference. Then we get into your 1019-ish area. Looking closely at your chart, I see what you mean with the overlapping gaps. You have the earlier bullish FEG around 29,818 to 29,833 based on your markings red. Price trades through it and effectively inverts that area. Then the later bearish imbalance around roughly 29,826 to 29,837 overlaps the same general zone. So structurally, you have what you're calling a double gap area. And look where it develops. It's below the earlier range after price has already shown weakness during a failed bullish attempt with the EMA beginning to roll over above near
You need
price.
to look at that car.
That is interesting. But I agree with you. The 2LPB entry itself isn't beautiful then. This is where I don't want hindsight to contaminate the journal. If your theoretical entry is 29,813 and structural stop needs to be above roughly 29,830, that's about 17 NQ points of risk. Targeting the prior day midpoint around 29,609 gives approximately 204 points of theoretical reward. That's a huge theoretical R multiple, roughly 12 R before slippage management assumptions. But the giant RR does not make the entry valid. Your concerns are legitimate. No EMA touch, no clean new extreme in the attempted uptrend. The rejection isn't your prettiest 2LPB. So if I were sitting beside you during the stream, I would not have said, open quote, bro, click sell, close quote. I would have said, open quote, why interested now? Hands ready, show me the evidence, close quote. And then the question becomes whether the inverted bullish FVG plus overlapping bearish FVG qualifies as sufficient evidence inside your actual written model. Because this is where I think we're uncovering something important about sugarcane 2LPB integration. Your current mental model may be demanding the EMA touch as a visual requirement, when perhaps the deeper requirement is location plus failed auction plus imbalance inversion plus bearish displacement. I'm not saying change the rules because this trade won. Absolutely not. I'm saying tag this setup for research. My journal tab for this exact sequence. Open quote, 2K tick, failed uptrend, double gap study. Downtrend established. Countertrend bullish sequence attempted to develop but failed to produce the expected new extreme. Price returned toward the lower boundary of the prior range day midpoint area and rejected. A bullish FEG around 29,818 to 29,833 was inverted, with a bearish FEG developing and overlapping the same general zone. The first area of bearish interest appeared around 10:19 a.m. Theoretical entry 29,813. Structural stop above 29,830. Downside objective prior day midpoint 29,609. Trade not taken. Reason no clean EMA touch and no textbook 2LPB confirmation. Setup is being tagged for research as a possible failed trend plus overlapping FEG inversion double gap continuation model. Close quote. And Teeve, this is exactly why I'm glad you didn't just say, damn, missed the short. You're reverse engineering where you first became allowed to become interested. That is a much better question. 10 is the first spot on this chart where I agree, why could reasonably say, okay, bearish execution model, show yourself. Not 940, not the first red candle. Not because Asia London lows were below. Around 1019. Send me the arrow picture if you mark the exact double gap. I want to make sure I'm reading the same 2-3 candle sequences you're identifying. Because this may be worth putting in a separate sugarcane research / failed trend folder rather than calling it a missed trade.
Nice. Like I should have thought.
The Pro Max. Had a thought to my skull, I can know that. And your body will clean and it carry no fat. No, and it carry no fat. Yeah, bad, booty man. I am a team man. Anytime I fuck you, I go hard. You push it in, I am start scream. You push it at me, I forget the Vaseline is like a dream. The first time I fuck you was so shy. Now we fucking all night, all night, in the lab. Girl, are you have me right? Are you have me time to the give me a wall, make me give me this, and just do what me please, and make me grant your wish. I make a keep on the wall and start squeeze your brains in, and your belly me can't make the place away. And like me and sex, me no go any address, now go drop me, God, just feel the same. I reminisce in the bed, and you give me the best, and you give me the best. Take your first shot, then you rock. Give me a wall and make me give me this and just do what me please and make me grant your way. I make a keep on the wall and start squeeze your brains in your belly, me can't make the place away. And like me and says, me no go any address, now go drop me, God, those feel the same. I reminisce in the bed and you give me the best, and you give me.
I uploaded the picture and made some notes and annotations for you. You like
Young pop, you like young pop. Long tongue from a come now. Me hit it till it thumbs up. Thumbs up if you don't like the fuck. Pussy no smell like thumb struck. Yeah, nothing is impossible. Do the shit together, we unstoppable. Raised to be a leader, not a navigator. Roach down on scraps of paper. All roads lead to the same confusion. All roads lead to the same conclusions. Found my body somewhere in the sewer. My girl found a word prolific for me, and I can't read her mind. She wrote a different story. Oh well, redemption is a funny bitch. The devil always be right where the money is. Somebody gotta be watching you, but no one is. It's kinda crazy life could be this simple. Nothing's coincidence. My best friend packed his things, threw him in the car. I haven't seen him since. Guess I understand he always got his chills when he saw a room full of rolled up $100 bills. Yeah. If a bill
See, have it on the iPad. You talk, you ask your own question. You upload for this. So you ask him, alright, what the correspondence? Alright, at the same time, you click on a computer. And ask him, alright, how much order just come in with the same thing. You can do it.
Yes.
Even though I see my phone tell again on this and this.
For
Well,
sure.
she attack on this.
Because I could do another, I think I could do another window on here, huh? Now we're really dropping crazy out of that area. That's good. I like that.
Oh, why the big fan way back then?
Now I see exactly what you mean. The annotations remove the yep. Now I see exactly what you mean. The annotations remove the ambiguity for me, and I need to correct one part of my previous read. I was mentally placing your proposed execution too early in the sequence. Your second zoomed picture makes the distinction clear.
My physical
The
part,
sequence I see now, the overshoot is not your entry. The overshoot is the warning that the little bullish trend has pushed up, but the structure still isn't giving you the clean continuation new extreme you wanted. Then price rolls over. Now look at your green highlighted area. You have the prior bullish gap in that region. Price begins trading down through it. Then the bearish displacement creates the opposing bearish imbalance across the same general location. That's the double gap interaction you're talking about. Then comes the part I misunderstood before. Open quote, you are not shorting the first break through the gap. Close quote, you're waiting for price to pull back into that area. That little pullback where you wrote entry is the actual proposed execution. Okay? Weedy Pond, the same page now. Your proposed model is basically downtrend, break, failed bullish trend, overshoot, rollover, bullish gap, inverts, bearish gap, overlaps, pull back into double gap, short. That is way cleaner than how I interpreted your first description. And the stop annotation makes sense now too. You're putting the stop above the double gap structure / local rejection area, not all the way above the overshoot high. So your execution logic is area, double gap. Location, failed bullish auction after a bearish trend. Evidence, bullish gap inversion plus bearish displacement FVG. Execution, pullback into the overlapping imbalance. That's literally the framework I have been drilling. Open quote, area, location, evidence, execution, close quote. The one thing still bothering me, the missing new extreme. And I think you were right to hesitate because of it. Under your normal 2LPB logic, the bullish move should properly establish itself before you're comfortable calling its failure a reversal continuation opportunity. Here it looks more like open quote, attempted bullish trend, overshoot, failure, close quote dot, rather than open quote, confirmed bullish trend, new extreme, trend break, reversal, close quote. Those are not automatically the same setup. That's why I would not rewrite your rules and say you missed an A+ trade. The market dropping afterward is irrelevant to that question. The research question is, open quote, can an overshoot substitute for the new extreme requirement when a double gap inversion forms in the direction of the prior dominant trend? Close quote. That is the study. Because look at the context. You already had a downtrend. The bullish move was countertrend. The countertrend move overshoots. It fails to properly establish a new extreme. Price rolls over. A bullish gap gets inverted. A bearish gap develops across the same area. Price pulls back. Double gap rejection. Then continuation lower. Bro, don't add this to the live model yet. But save this chart. Sugarcane research tag failed countertrend overshoot double gap. Question. Can a countertrend overshoot failure replace the traditional new extreme requirement when the original trend remains dominant and an overlapping FBG inversion forms? Observed sequence, dominant trend, countertrend attempt, overshoot, failure, gap inversion, opposing gap, double gap, pullback, continuation. July 15th, 2026, NQ2K tick. And one more thing, your hesitation live was correct based on your current rules. I'm not going to hindsight coach you into pretending this was obvious. But as a researcher, yeah, find something worth collecting samples of. If why find this exact sequence 20 to 30 times in your old charts and it repeatedly behaves this way, then we can start asking whether this is a separate branch of sugarcane instead of forcing it into classic 2LPB. For now, no trade missed. Research specimen collected.
I don't got time to focus on on that shit a long time. Just doing so much work with this thing. That's the best part.
I'm fucking them, fucking these bitches, you know I just bust them. Yeah, no baby, no, I don't even bust them. No, no, I just lost them. I'm crazy, I'm bad, so fuck them. I'm getting money ever since I'm the lunch. Trying to get low, no, he ain't no duck. I'm shot in his face, man's ass in the upward. No, I ain't do it before broke out the bell. Heard him mouse, them trapping them down. Gang got the Uzi, the test, and the calves. That shit'll knock off his face and the smell. Not talking to Dita, but we got the shells. 30 clip hanging out, look like an L. How the fuck could I ever take an L when it's 30 million? Probably right on my smell. And I prevail. I caught a case, but that shit was just way too petty to talk about. Can't even talk about it. Right at the court, I was like DJ on bitch, I walked it out. That's how I walked it out. Back on my shit, and I was no saying niggas ain't talking now. Try to get a verse from me, they think that I'm better than offer now. I don't even fuck with none of y'all niggas, y'all shit be done for now. Fuck with y'all niggas. I ain't gonna lie, y'all shit be cool, but I don't even jack the sound. Dumbass track. Told my bitch stop playing, all y'all niggas music. Is y'all gangsta, all y'all confused. Why the fuck you don't jack my music?
Every bar you see there with a red arrow above it and a green arrow below it is basically the 30-minute bar on the 1 minute that's made, and you can see sometimes it's really acting as support and resistance. Even if it gets broken above or below, later it will come back and retest the area.
You don't jack my new bitch. Wow. Brown skin, eat the cool with. Pull up a white bar, that's a cool with. Give me my book chain, I'm a loose.
Yo, for real, Jay. The man sell wicked, but yeah, me see I try buy up the dip. Me see the median for yesterday. I hit me and look, but we basically did it right now. I mean, I have a couple level right as I see if we bounce, but you know, man, them nah ramp. Man, them nah ramp with the dung move right now, brother. Let's see if we have 2 legs already. This would have been 1. If we pull back and we do it again, we basically did a 2-legged move. We make the 2-legged move down. So the only thing now is if this would have been 1 big leg, I'll pull back up and then we'll get 1 big leg little more, but can't see where I make the bypass for sure. That is 1 leg. See if we pull back up again to the low or something. Can go back and take out all of yesterday low. All the way at 29303.
Then come back and drop that again.
Yeah. Depends how far they want to pull up to right now. Let me just send this picture to you too.
Yeah. Now I understand what you've been watching with those 30-minute bars. And looking at the 1-minute chart this way, I agree. The 30-minute bar is leaving a location behind. Not necessarily a magical support resistance line where price must reverse. More like a reference zone that price keeps interacting with later.
Window.
In this screenshot, I can see the behavior you're describing.
Window.
Price forms the 30-minute reference, initially reacts around it, breaks through in some cases, and then later comes back into the same neighborhood and uses it from the opposite side or responds again. The important thing is this: open quote, broken does not automatically mean irrelevant. Close quote. That's what I think you're noticing. A 30-minute bar area could behave like support, break, retest from below, resistance, or the inverse. Resistance, break, retest from above, support. And sometimes price simply comes back to rebalance through the 30-minute bars range before continuing. This actually connects to today's 1019 study. Look at the timing on your chart. You literally have the 1019 marker visible, and the bearish sequence we've been studying is occurring while price is moving through these higher time frame intraday references. So on the 2K, Y saw failed counter trend.
That shit is crazy. That shit just put all that shit together that I just showed it. It was just telling me to look at this 30-minute bar I just showed in the same area.
But the 1-minute, 30-minute study may be giving us location context for why that 2K setup becomes more interesting there.
Is rejecting.
That's the distinction I want us to protect. The 30-minute bar isn't necessarily the trigger. The
Bruh.
2K execution model is the trigger. The 30-minute bar may be part of the map. So, open quote, 30M equals where 2K equals how, close quote. That fits your framework almost perfectly. Open quote, area, location, evidence, execution, close quote. The 30-minute reference can help establish area/location. Then why move to the 2K and demand the actual evidence execution? I think we need to study the whole 30-minute bar, not just one line. This is important. For every marked 30-minute bar, I would track only 4 things initially: high, low, midpoint, and direction body orientation. Then observe whether price later reacts at the high, reacts at the low, uses the midpoint, or trades completely through the bar and later retests it from the other side. Because my suspicion from looking at your chart is that saying the 30-minute bar acts as support resistance might actually be too broad. The deeper behavior may be, open quote, certain parts of the 30-minute bar remain active references, close quote. And if WY tested, maybe the midpoint is more important than the full bar, or maybe the opening side of the body matters, or the wick extreme. Or, and this would be very interesting, the 30-minute bar only becomes highly relevant when a sugarcane FVG event develops inside or around it. Don't add rules yet, but I would absolutely mark this as a second research question beside today's double gap specimen. Open quote, 30-minute bar memory study. Does the high, low, midpoint, or body of a completed 30-minute bar consistently act as a future reaction retest location on NQ? When broken, does the area frequently flip roll and become support resistance from the opposite side? Secondary question, does a 2K midpoint is more important than the full bar? Or maybe the opening side of the body matters? Or the wick extreme? Or, and this would be very interesting, the 30-minute bar only becomes highly relevant when a sugarcane FVG event develops inside or around it. Don't add rules yet, but I would absolutely mark this as a second research question beside today's double gap specimen. Open quote, 30-minute bar memory study. Does the high, low, midpoint, or body of a completed 30-minute bar consistently act as a future reaction retest location on NQ? When broken, does the area frequently flip roll and become support resistance from the opposite side? Secondary question, does a 2K, 2LPB sugarcane setup perform differently when execution occurs at a prior 30-minute bar reference? Close quote. Because Teve, I think that's the direction your chart work is naturally going now. You're not just asking bullish or bearish. You're starting to separate map, location, setup, trigger. And I think the clean translation into your language might be, open quote, gas station tells why where. 30-minute bar tells why where price may stop and reason. Sugarcane tells we what price did. 2K tells we when phi execute, close quote. I would keep marking those red, green arrow 30-minute bars exactly as you're doing. Why need samples before why promote it to a rule?
Looking to see now if we keep this down pressure going, if we're going to reject off yesterday's median level and then attacked also yesterday's prior day low, waiting to see if the next 30-minute bar that appears at 11 comes in and acts as some type of the support or resistance that we're watching. But yes, as far as the previous trade, excellent. We'll definitely review that again later and add it all up. Let's keep focused and keep rocking and rolling. Yes, Jaja. All right.
Yep, why locked back in? No more post-trade archaeology right now. Current live hypothesis from your chart, down pressure remains active. Price has already accepted lower from the earlier range, and the 2K structure is still visually pressing downward. Now we are approaching the area around yesterday's median midpoint reference, with prior day low as the next meaningful downside objective if price can continue accepting below. The 11 30-minute bar is now the observation, not automatically a trade signal. What I'm watching with you is simple. Open quote, does yesterday's median reject price and help continue the bearish auction? Or does price reclaim, hold the area, and begin building an actual countertrend structure? Close quote. Then the new 30-minute reference comes in. One market. Watch how the 1 minute treats its area. Meanwhile, on the 2K, we demand the execution evidence. I do not want to chase this move down here just because the bearish thesis has been correct. If price is already extended into yesterday's median area, selling late can mean selling directly into the location where the market decides to rebalance. So right now, bearish pressure, yesterday median 11:30M reference, PDL, possible target. And the question stays the same. Open quote, what has to happen for W to take a trade today? Close quote, area, location, evidence, execution. No entry, no problem. Why watch? Keep rocking and rolling.
Yes, Dad.
Spread on vanilla go up. You know what I'm saying? And some chores, the boss. I want to see if I put a mission today. You know what? I definitely I will fall upon some fun night. Just let me know, man. Oh, hell yeah, bro. I'm just like, I don't get around to see if I see. No, the people, I don't.
I can't never see.
Yeah, that's you, right?
No. I'm gonna.
Oh. Oh.
First entry pullback, second entry.
Martínez, ¿qué?
Sí, ¿con quién me comunico? Disculpe.
Nico. Nico.
Me escucho, soy el Nico de Saludos Asociación de Benefit Life, Centro de Inscripciones para los Gastos Finales.
¿Sinales?
Así es, el motivo de mi llamada es para informarle que somos un programa avalado y fundamentado
Sí, sí.
por la ley federal disponible aquí en
Tener.
el área, enfocados en las pólizas de gastos finales que de igual manera es
Buena, claro que sí, my heart is no good.
Okay, do you speak Spanish?
The fucking lady had this come on English, but hold on, nigga. You don't even sound like you speak Spanish. Yo, that shit's hilarious.
Sir, you speak Spanish? So you don't know your name? Nobody.
Like, none of the questions I've been asking you, you're fucking answering.
You only saying see,
What
like, you see the fuck, yo, nigga.
Do you actually know any Spanish? That's hilarious. That you can't make that one up, man. That is hilarious.
Damn, dude. I guess Bob just never teach you enough of the Spanish. Yo, goddamn, bro. You're holy lang, though. Hmm? Huh? Me no say that, no. I'm not say holy for long, though.
Niggas in my heart.
It's no good.
It's no good. What the hell was that? Mi corazón, man. Now that shit is funny.
You need to do like what your brother doing online. Because I want to sleep in there and not hear him. I go, why am I studying? Why am I? Hear him like him at that. Yeah, I wonder what the freak they're doing there. Say,
No worry about it, man.
I can't hear shit. Understand shit to him. I say, yeah, I don't want to sleep in here to go.
When this
When she did there the last time to sleep. We did in there, did the Japanese thing. But I thought me have to talk to it, so you know.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know that.
What that? Love what?
Oh yeah, go boss.
Fucking Spanish.
See?
We got it now, so we still looking more, man.
So I mean, I just leave to the slaughter and roast. That's it, yeah. Oh, you know what? Nessa deu que o
Looking more, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Okay, yes, I don't know. I'm just thinking about something. I used to sometimes draw these up every 30 minutes. I said I remember I used to draw these up sometimes every 30 minutes. Trying to remember everything. Friend never got me I'm back anyway. Now the girl you got me don't care if the mama don't me no. She doing it with no fear. Doing it with no fear. Hey, move your body for the up top boss.
Yes.
Alright, got 6 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. Okay, gonna wrap it up. Call it a day. Can you send me a quick summary? All I see now is ranging. So send me a quick summary of today, and I can start sending to the thumbnail. GG's. This one.